have to help me.
At the very least, the Ring Terror's Realm right there is decent. Like, the I'm Meg, please, you have to help me is at least cool. But still, it's a terrible fucking game. Let's go. We're gonna do this again and get a better PB. There's a lot of time save. Come on. I have no clue, Garfield. I really have no clue. I wish I knew. The Best of Peas? Well, the thing is, anything I do right now is world records. I already got world record, baby. I'm getting another one. 2 world records in one day? Is that how we're rolling? It probably is. Honestly, I think that's how we're going to be rolling today. 2 world records in one day. Truly the god amongst men of speedrunning. To get 2 world records in the best game to ever release. Nah, it takes too much time. It's like an hour 16 of each other. So I'm going to do no katana strats this time. And that should be faster. Because the katana is optional. You don't have to go there. You never have to confront Kathy. That's an optional mission I've been doing to have backup strats. For marathon safety, a backup katana is nice. But for an actual run, I would not want the backup katana. Like, an actual run shouldn't have to have it. Come on, you know I'm a scientist. Anyway, let's go with some marathon commentary right now. The Ring Terror's Realm. What is the game? Why are we playing it? Why do we care? So The Ring Terror's Realm was released based off the Ring movies, more realistically, either the 4th or the 5th Ring book, and it's absolutely terrible. Everything about this game is a meme, and it has a lot of inspiration from the old school Resident Evil style of gameplay, specifically 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. The way the game works is there's an overworld and then the ring world. The ring world is where a lot of the action takes place, and that's where the monsters come in, while the overworld's a lot more kind of like just office playthroughs. It's sort of like a dating sim, but without any dating and any good things to happen. It's all pretty bad. Anyway, we enter the ring world, and the game is The Office meets RoboCop, and you'll see what I mean in a brief moment here. I present to you RoboCop. She just has this outfit for some reason whenever you go in. I remember Sadako's curse being, you know, like, horrifying, not you go into a, like, virtual reality. That's a good mention. So, mechanics. The game teaches me how to play right now. I'm gonna have a few things going on, but nothing too major. The tutorial's pretty straightforward. It's like, hey, here's how you do your light, here's how you pull out your gun, here's how you shoot your gun, here's a couple other things you'll never use. You can also turn off the light during cutscenes, and all it does is it makes it a bit easier to see later on, which is nice. So this guy, he wants us to do the light, he wants us to hold the gun, he wants us to fire the gun. This gunshot actually does not waste a single bullet, by the way. Then he wants us to pause the game. It's all just, hey, here's how you play the game, here's what you're going to do, good luck. It's a pretty decent tutorial in all honesty, but it's still annoying. And then he doesn't have the world's longest pause. And then you just push Y, and then you're good, and then you don't have to talk to him ever again. And then you're good. Exactly, Neko, it's RoboCop. So the whole mission is explore the upstairs area. He wants you to go to the back and then back to the front, and we're gonna get our first monster encounter. So you guys remember Sadako's curse? You know, the killer videotape die in 7 days? The actual threat isn't a curse. It's apes. It has always been apes, all along. The main enemy of this game is apes. Spacing my shots allows me to get the full damage on the apes. I do take a backup ammo here because it's just smart. It's going to save me some time on the second enemy of the game, which is going to be rather difficult, and it's good to have. Potentially, some marathons, yes, most marathons, no. A short marathon might take this, definitely not GDQ, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, after killing the ape and going back downstairs, you are then able to pass out and then wake up. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth. Not all, Geo. They do licensed games all the time in marathons. And you can kind of see the back and forth between the ring. We play the ring game, and you know, whenever I play video games in my house, I'm constantly passing out in my chair. I want to do a quick notice. Pay attention throughout the run. Meg's expression on her face will never change. The old poem goes, she's beauty, she's grace, she has one expression on her face. Now we get the phone call. I wonder what that can mean. We just played Sadako's killer video game. What could the phone call possibly be? Hello? Wait, it's dark. What's happening? We didn't play Ring. We played Dead. Oh no. 7 more days. Only 7 more days. You know, the harmless pranks in the office. Not to mention, the story. Your boyfriend died and you took his job. That's what happens whenever your boyfriend dies, right? You just get his job. And then on the first day of work, your office is quarantined. Anyway, now we're gonna get introduced to all the coworkers, like Chris, who's horrifying, and luckily we only have to see once or twice. And then the Chief. The Chief will also change his name multiple times throughout the run. He'll be Chief and he'll be John. I don't know why they changed the subtitle. At some points he's John, at other points he's Chief. And I don't quite know. It's inconsistent. And I don't quite know why. Anyway, here's the Chief. And we have dialogue with him. The problem with the dialogue is half it's mashing, half it's automatic. So you kind of have to wonder and worry on what exactly you need to mash. A good point of effort is just keep pushing A and then you're normally fine. Some areas are like you just push A and then it'll go automatically. Other areas are mashing. And it's actually a pretty good mix. Normally though, consistent push is fine. Anyway, he's kind of briefing us how your boyfriend died and how, hey, you're under lockdown, so don't explore anything but the first floor. And we have to talk to the Chief twice. So while I'm in the real world, what I'm trying to do, well, and both areas I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get sent back to the other world. Getting sent back to the other world will progress through the game and allow me to get to the final boss. Obviously, it's normal progression of the game, but every level is effectively, hey, do things and then go back to the other world. So in order to do the triggers, I have to do certain things. The first set of triggers is talk to the Chief twice. We also have to answer a phone call, but in order to do that, you have to talk to the Chief. I actually went through and analyzed everything you have to do. There's bonus events we never actually see. Like, you get to meet all your other coworkers. You barely meet any of them. You don't have to. Because all you have to do is talk to the Chief twice. And then you talk to maybe about 2 other people. There's mandatory coworkers and there's, like, optional coworkers. Chris is almost entirely optional. We never talk to her. Kathy, you kind of run into her in cutscenes. We'll learn about them later. They're very interesting characters. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, you can see Meg running in her heels, absolutely just thundering on the ground. We're going to be running back to the office because it's, hey, go relax in your office. And then we get a phone call telling us, hey, you got to go explore. And then we go do that. But that'll activate the next series of triggers. What we're actually trying to do in this area is the phone call. All this is building up to get into the reference room, which will give us what we need to go back to the videotape. But in order to get in the reference room, you need the key. In order to get the key, you need to get the Timothy dialogue, because we're going to get body blocked in the men's locker room if we try doing so otherwise. I know that sentence doesn't make much sense in context right now, but it really doesn't help when you hear it. Hey, sure glad I have nobody around. And then you just go back in. Maybe it's from Jack. And you ask the phone call. You have to do this or else you can't progress through the game. I'm also going to do a route deviation right now. I think this is the best time to do it now I'm in this office. There's a few times you could do it, but later in the game, they won't let you into the office you need to get into. So this is good experimentation to see how you do it now. I do need to go exploring for extra items. It's actually required. Makes sense. I'll have to see. I want to do my own digging just to see. Also, I want to know while we're waiting for this, Meg has like her jacket like ironed to the wall. She brought 2 jackets to her first day of work, by the way. This is her first day at the job, and she has 2 jackets here. Why does she have 2 jackets? Like, it's ironed to the wall. The guy we're on the phone with, by the way, is her ex-boyfriend. Why he's still in contact with us, I don't know. Robert. And then you get the prompt to ask the Chief once again. And what I'm going to do now is the minor route deviation I talked about. So normally what I do is I go straight to the chief, but I think I can save some time later in the run if I do this. So I want to go into the third office here. And in this office, I'm able to get some bullets. The bullets are going to help me out at the very end of the game, so this is prior planning, and this is going to be katanaless. Avium! The raid. There we go. Can I get a shout out for Avium if I have a mod? I got the bullets I needed, now I can keep going forward. Actually, let's see if I can do it. Or are you streaming today? Also, I spelled Avium. I spelled the shout out wrong, so I'll give a brief moment for the next cutscene. But now I have to walk back to the chief. I will be losing the time, but it's borrowed time. All good. All raids are appreciated. Let's see what you were up to today. You were playing Resident Evil 2. Was that the original or the classic? Either way, I hope it went well. And again, don't mind the time loss right now. We gain time later. I guarantee it. Like, the time saved later is going to be rather significant, so it's not going to be an issue. The whole reason I'm losing time is normally I run straight to the chief, but by getting the extra bullets, I don't have to do it later in the game. And like, you either get them now or you get them on the final boss, so it's one of the two. Hey, Allie, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you have a great day. And you gotta check out Avium. Very nice. There we go. I know it says I'm down by 28 seconds. I make that time up. Easy peasy. And good to hear you're doing RE2. It's a really fun game. And welcome everyone. I'm McDices. I do a lot of horror games and horror speedruns. I got world record earlier today. I want another one though. I want a better time. Because right now I'm about a 113. I'm the only person playing it, but still, world record's world record, baby. So now that I talked to the chief twice, we can talk to Timothy, and Timothy's going to be of vital importance. This is the most important part of the run. You're going to watch an 80-year-old man take out a security guard. Just look at this dude. The dude's like 90. It's still quality. I put a lot of work into the run, so I still give credit on that aspect. It's not like I didn't put effort into the run. Like, if this one does well, we good. I need to run Lifeline? Oh, God, no. Lifeline is brutal. Anyway, talking to Timothy, he tells you, hey, you can't get into the men's locker room? Let me help you out. Because you must understand, I don't know if you guys have ever been into a locker room. Locker rooms, especially men's locker rooms, are predominantly dominated by old dudes. Like, if you've ever wanted to look at a naked old dude, go into a men's locker room. Like, that is where you'll find naked old dudes. They're always naked for no good reason, but they just are. And it's their domain. They establish dominance in the men's locker room. I don't know why. Anyway, furthering on, so are women's locker rooms? I don't think that's the domain of old men. And you did hear Lifeline. Lifeline is brutal. So like I mentioned, we're gonna have an encounter with Lucino in here. Lucino is the security guard. What he's going to do is tell us, hey, this is the men's locker room only. Men only. Exactly correct, you understand. But, like I mentioned, old men have the reign of the locker room, so Timothy is going to teach Lucino a lesson, and then we can properly go in the locker room like we wanted to. Exactly, Lucino's no girls allowed policy is no longer allowed in this locker room. We're allowed to have domain. Also, I also want to make note of that cool race car calendar behind us. Honestly, it's awesome. And then we get to search in the men's locker room, and he's just staring at her chest the entire time. But we don't have to worry about that now, because we get to go to the locker room of her ex-boyfriend, steal his keys and the file, and then we're done with this entire section. This is one of the mandatory events in the game you must do to proceed, because we need to get to the reference room. All of Chapter 1, or Day 1, I should say, was designed upon getting into the reference room, because that'll teach us more about the curse of Sadako. By the way, yes, I want to mention once again, this is about the movie, you know, the Ring movie. But it's actually about the 4th book in the movie series, but they marketed it as the movie. Even more so, I want to mention this. This song has been playing the entire time we've been doing this. There's about a total of like 7 or 8 songs in the entire game. You can count them, maybe prove me wrong. The game does not have a lot of songs. They're pretty awesome. A little bit of bad movement there, that's fine. It's the most awkward angles to talk to things. It's kind of unfortunate, but it happens. Oh, I'm gonna save a lot. I have like 3 minutes of time save. I'll be fine with time save, don't you worry at all. My final boss is really bad. There we go. So now we can head back to the World of the Ring. The World of the Ring is going to be the next area where we actually fight monsters. You know, the cool thing that this game is actually about. But we're not gonna... The whole idea is be there as little as you possibly can. You really don't want to be there. But I want to see how much time I end up saving not having to go with the katana. I think it's going to be substantial. I think it's really going to be substantial, and we'll see in a moment here. So I keep mentioning this katana. This is the only game in the world that features a backup katana as a final boss strategy. You can either use the main pistol you have, or you can use the backup katana. Even with the grenade launcher, I still think the pistol is going to be faster, funny enough, just because it does so much damage. Like, it does more damage and, like, less running than just using the straight-up grenade launcher and menuing. But yeah, Ellie, how'd the rest of the stream go, by the way? Hope it went well. It's always good to see you. It's good to see you're back in action as well. Boom, 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 boom. Truly is the greatest song to ever exist. And now we're hitting the next song. And now we actually get to play in the Ring World. And the Ring World's gonna have a monster fight, which... If you guys have not seen, maybe you're just coming in, maybe you are unfamiliar with the game, maybe you just want to hear it once again and me explaining it, maybe you're enjoying the marathon-esque commentary I'm doing. So we're back in the world of RoboCop. I'm going to take a few safety strats here. Actually, I really don't need this health because there's better health I can get. So I'm not going to grab this one. I think it's time waste. I'm trying to optimize the time where I can. Right now, this run's a lot more optimization than the previous run, because the previous run was the major optimization of saving like 9 minutes. While this one is going to be, I'm going to save a lot more time. And the refining, I don't need the health kit. Even if I take damage, I get another health kit later on, so I don't really need to worry too much. There we go. Now we're underground, and the way to travel through here is always going to be on the underground and then the overground. It's sort of weird when you think about it that you have the underground and overground sections, but those exist because... for some reason, the door is barricaded on the second floor, so you can't actually do anything. I'm running in the dark because I like saving my flashlight for later on in the game. There's no real reason to have the light on. You can do everything in the dark. It's just merely for our own eyesight that we have the light on. You don't really need it for any reason outside that, but I'm going to turn it on because it's good for fights, actually. Anyway, in the microscope room, the whole mission here, if you go to like 2 different rooms, they'll tell you, hey, there's a monster in the microscope room, go kill it. And I'm going to teach you guys about boss battles or fights in this game. They're about as good as you expect. Here we go, we introduce the monster and listen to the sound effect. And the entire time, we're just gonna keep shooting him in the junk, and this should work as a boss fight. That rate of fire allows us to avoid being hit, and the full clip should take him out. Not bad. And that was a good fight. And that fight works is because you want to make sure you damage him enough so he's not going to attack you. Because if he attacks you, you hear the terrible Nickelodeon slime time splat. And nobody wants Nickelodeon slime time splat. I apologize, guys. If you're a fan of Nickelodeon slime time splat, then, I mean, this is the game for you. What can I say? Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, I can actually turn off the light during cutscenes. We have no reason to have on the light during these cutscenes, because it'll actually drain the battery entirely, which is stupid. So we do that really quick, and then we talk to the laptop in the corner. I golded, barely, but we golded. Sweet. And now she's wondering where we are. How spooky, guys. It's getting spooky. And then we're back to the real world for another moment of time. Hey, a helicopter. And like I mentioned every time, whenever you go in here, Meg is just passed out in her chair. She's always just passed out. Now, Kendo, the game's working perfectly. I already got a new world record. I have it running perfectly. She always passes out the same expression on her face. Every time I've ever played any video game in my life off stream, that's what happens to me. Like, all the time. I just play the game and then I pass out in the morning. I wake up with, like, a big smile on my face. Anyway, I hope, if you guys want to play a fun drinking game, maybe you want to challenge yourselves at home, maybe you want to drink on a Tuesday night. What I recommend to you is, so we're doing the Ring Terror's Realm. Take a drink every time Meg passes out. You'll get a good level of drunk, I guarantee you. If you do shots, you'll die. Every time Meg passes out, take a drink. See, man, she just passed out. And look at the name of the next split. Take a wild guess what's going to happen. Take a wild guess. There we go. I'm gonna talk to the chief once again. The chief summoned us to his office. And then, Chief! This is a good example of good mashing. If you mash really quickly, you save time. It's also an argument for turbo controllers. And then she just passes out. No, I know what you're thinking. Hey, she doesn't pass out that much. You're exaggerating it, Dices. Why would she pass out so much? She's a healthy young Sega Dreamcast girl. Why would Meg ever pass out? Well, you got me there. She possibly can't pass out again, right? I guarantee she must go at least 5 minutes without passing out, right? At least 5 minutes. She can go at least 5 minutes without passing out. I guarantee at least 5 minutes. At the bare minimum, she'll go 5 minutes without passing out. I have a good feeling about that. She's not going to pass out yet again. By the way, let's go back to our office because we need to talk on the phone. Maybe she's narcoleptic? Maybe. We're gonna run back once again. Avium! 3 sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. 2 months. Welcome back to the Swarm. Enjoy the emotes. We'll have a new one coming out sometime this month. Anyway, we're going back into the main office right now, and the main office is now going to be, instead of light, it's going to be dark. So now it's dark in here. Why is it dark? Who knows? Is someone here? Don't know. We're gonna run in here, and what's then going to happen is we're gonna get a mini cutscene. Let's just watch the cutscene. Is someone there? Also, just watch Meg. Watch Meg. Wait! Hey, thanks so much for the bits. Random words, appreciate it. She passes out yet again. Gold, baby. And then she passed out once again. If I saw it correctly. Walking, funny enough, is the best strategy in this room, just because you can get the door and the card key. Anyway, now that we got the card key, we can go to the first floor of the game. I was on the second floor the entire game, now I go to the first floor. Also, you're wondering why don't I start running immediately instead of doing these little turns? The little turns allow me to do less wide, like, if you just start running immediately, she'll do a giant, like, loop. But if you just turn first, you'll do it a tighter turn, which is nice. Anyway, this is Kathy. This monstrous beast right here with the weird hair is Kathy. She looks like a Dark Souls character. Like, you kind of hit random on it, and she's generated. Kathy exists for about maybe 3 lines. Kathy used to have an important part of the run, now she no longer is going to matter. We used to use Kathy to get the backup katana, but now we no longer need the backup katana, because again, it's a backup. During marathon runs, I would actually use the backup katana, and that's just because the backup katana allows us to potentially hit the final bosses, if you run out of ammo. Pretty much, Garfield. Anyway, you need to talk to Kathy 3 times, and it's all automatic. Just entering these areas will do it for you. And now we hit the next song. We had a total of about 2 songs. Here's 3. By the way, pay close attention to this song in particular, because it's not going to be here for very long. Pay very close attention to the song. Remember the song. There's our third song. There's our fourth song. The song lasts maybe about like 20 seconds. It lasts for as long as the conversation down there. That's literally it. It does not last any longer than that, and I don't quite know why. It doesn't make full sense to me, but I love it anyway. So anyway, the whole mission of the first floor is you need to get lunch with Kathy and Chris. Kathy is in the lunchroom, and then you need to get Chris. So now we're on song 4, by the way. And Chris literally just says, go get Kathy. But you need to talk to Kathy first, or else you can't talk to Chris. And it's literally just that one dialogue. Hey, can you go get Chris? Sure. And then we head back and get Chris. And what Chris is going to do is she's going to tell us there's a phone call for us. Someone could possibly be calling us at this hour, at this time of day, at this time of year, localized entirely within this office. There's Chris. Alright, then she immediately leaves us. She exists for a brief moment. Another thing with turns in this game, holding down the run button while you turn actually lets you turn faster, so it's worth doing. Have a great night, Sumptus. I'll beat the record again. Thank you so much for stopping by, and it's been great seeing your lobster. Sleep well, okay? So now that we're in the room, we get the phone call, and it was actually our laptop the entire time. Wait a minute. That's our laptop. Post more lobster pics. Alright, now we're back to the ring. And the strategy right now is actually going to be a shotgun. You don't need the shotgun for the reason you think. It's a key. The shotgun in this game doubles as a weapon and a key. So I'm going to turn off the light really quick, and we get a quick dialogue saying, hey, this door is locked. We need a powerful weapon to open it. So we have to get a powerful weapon to open the door. This door I'm going to is always locked until this level. And that's the opera room. And it's really easy to get the shotgun if you know where to go. It's on top of a shelf. Here's the hard puzzle. Oh god, wait, I'm losing time. That's fine. Well, apparently it is hard because I'm messing with my movement. Really? Apparently it is hard. Wow, okay, that's annoying. That was massively annoying. That's all you literally have to do, but sometimes that box is kind of finicky. Anyway, I'm going to pause it while I'm in here, and I am going to equip the shotgun. There we go. Exactly, it happens. Usually I get good areas, but you equip the shotgun now. We're going to be using for the rest of the level, ideally. I don't want to get any fights until the boss in this level, because there is actual bosses in this game, by the way. They do exist. But the first boss of this level is going to be a door, a literal door. We talk to it. We shoot with a powerful weapon, we're good. You back up a little bit, shoot the gun, and then you break the door. And that is the required strategy for that room. If you don't do that, you don't break the door, and it doesn't work. So you want to run around the guy, kind of just go through. You don't want him to be aggroed on you, because if he gets aggroed on you, you get stuck in this room and you waste a bullet. So you kind of want to get that exact seed, because while he jumps at you, you can run past him. And running past him allows me to save a lot of time because I run straight through him. Getting body blocked in that corner wastes both health and ammo. We don't want either of that wasted. It's very important to keep both of that. So we can go in here now. There we go. Now you have the card key for the door. We can go up the stairs. So like I mentioned, there is a boss fight in this level, and the boss fights in this level don't really deviate too much. There's two actual different bosses. The rest of them are pretty funny. We're going to fight the first boss of the game, the first real boss of the game, and that's going to be the breeding room ape. Also, here's my favorite cutscene in the entire game for you guys. Check this out. You just get Nickelodeon splatted for no particular reason. There was earlier Kendo, but you have to give rest in between. You can't die. I told you we had a good level. I didn't tell you you would die unless you're doing shots. Anyway, start the office event. Oh, avium, it's just terrible. Nice, random word, nice. He tells you the power code, and it's a timed mission that you need to do. It's a two-parter. First off, you need to make sure that you turn on the power once again. Because right now the power is off. Second off, you need the key to turn on the power, and that comes from the boss fight. The boss is a big ape, and that's how it's described. And the big ape is going to be called the breeding room ape because he's in the breeding room. A lot of these bosses don't really have the best names. It's literally just breeding room ape. He's a big ape who's in the breeding room. Why does a breeding room exist? I don't actually know. There's no reason why a breeding room should exist, but it just sort of does. I really wish I can tell you why, but I don't really know myself. Anyway, into the breeding room we go, and this boss fight is actually one of the tougher ones in the game. You can lose a lot of health here, and I did lose a lot of time here. Breeding. There you go. This is bad. This is good. Good fight. Really good fight. Barely any damage. That was a solid fight. I'll take that. That was really good, actually. It started bad. So the problem with that is if you get hit once by the ape, he'll keep grabbing you. And getting grabbed repeatedly by the ape loses a lot of time for the run. And you lose, mainly because one, the fight goes bad, and then two, you just eat so much damage, you have to use the health kit in that room. Which is why I didn't need the extra health kit from earlier. There's no really need for it. We also don't really get hit that much in the ring world. We get more hit in the office world. So going back up, we're going to turn back on the power, and then we're almost done with the ring level. The ring level ends in two ways. Either you go back to the pod, or you knock out. This is going to be going back to the pod for once. Now, the one thing I give this game a lot of credit for, it has no reason to be so well designed. The keypad in this game is extremely well designed, and there is zero reason that should be the case. Like, keypad movement in this game is better than any Resident Evil game I've played, and that is really weird. Like, that should not be the case. Watch. Look how clean this is. Look how clean that was. That was so clean. Like, Resident Evil has weird pauses in between keypads. There's zero pauses in between that. You just straight up go, and it is really nice. There's, like, no reason it should be that nice. It is really clean, and there's no reason why this game should have that clean of anything. Like, the game is really well designed on one aspect, and that doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Anyway, that was extremely good. I'm back on time save, which is good. Again, I didn't actually lose time. It's borrowed time, so I'm really ahead right now, in fact. I lost a bit of time on the opera room shotgun, but we're still going to be fine. So now, like I mentioned, we need to exit from the pod once again. And that'll take us back to the real world. Reload. A cool thing about the door animations, by the way, is that everything behind the door will actually exist as it loads in. So when you're opening the door, you actually see like the full-blown animation, which is really cool. A lot of games don't do that. They just open the door, and then once you enter it, you start loading in the level. But this loads in the level during the door animation, and you can actually see while it's even still loading, that the room is indeed animating, which is pretty cool. Anyway, now we go back into the major area. I don't remember how you're supposed to figure this out casually, but a lot of the game is kind of unintuitive on how you're supposed to figure it out. Especially given that if you didn't remember that your emergency room code, you can actually lose the entire game, and it's really stupid. Anyway, now we go back to the lunchroom to finally have lunch with Kathy and Chris. I said I'd do a little bit of a walk there because of that. It's really awkward in this room for no good reason. You always kind of get stuck behind those chairs, and I don't know why. Anyway, now we're going to meet up with Kathy and Chris once again. They're literally going to tell me get lost. But we still have to do it anyway because then we get story dialogue out of them. And it's required story dialogue. Like, you physically can't progress unless you do this. It's really weird what triggers are the mandatory ones and which ones aren't. Like, this one you wouldn't think is mandatory, but it is. That's mainly because they tell you that the basement's free. And the next area we're going is the basement. Now, if you guys have enjoyed the music so far, I think you guys are going to absolutely love it. By the way, I want to mention the music, we're still on 4 songs total in the game. Come on. We're about to hit our 5th song. There we go. And nice. Isn't it 5? No, we have the Ring World never actually changed their songs. We had the first song, the Ring song, the 1 song, and now we're hitting 5. This is number 5. There's a little bit more than 5. I think there's like 6 or 7. Or 7 or 8. Anyway, time for the most dramatic song in the entire game. It stops on doors, by the way. Every 2 doors, it will start again, and it happens during the weirdest time during dialogue. So the next door I enter is going to be extremely exciting, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Watch. We're going to the opera room. How's it, Yuki? Good to see you. Oh, sorry, the microscope room. A little bit more exciting than the opera room. And you have to hide in the closet, and then you're good. And now listen to this awesome dialogue. This dialogue is going to be the most dramatic you've ever heard. Well, yeah. And then they just leave. You get 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then it just ends and they leave the room. And this music has no need to be as dramatic as it is, but it's amazing every time anyway. So the whole goal of down here is you learn the chief is in the basement and you can explore the chief's office. By exploring his office, we can then progress further through the game. But an actual cool thing now is you no longer have to kind of go through the weird stair areas. Like the stairwell, we can just access really nicely. It's gonna be oh god, I'm losing good time with that. That's fine. We can access pretty nicely and go through the entire stairwell. Turning can be pretty awkward if you need to go back or angled a little bit. Anyway, here's the 5th song, or the 6th song in the game. And now we get to go to the chief's office. So the whole goal of this day is you need to actually find out about the killer film, the killer videotape. It's weird because this game is based off the movie and the book. And the movie comes in a very brief area. There's actual clips from the movie, which my marathon incentive is to show the killer videotape cursing the audience. It's an amazing, amazing incentive in all honesty. The best incentive video gaming can offer. Oh, come on. Grab the white chair. We get the key. Then once you have the key, we have to get 2 more things. We have to get the file and then the film. Once you have the film, you're good to go. Now, you need all 3 of these or else you don't get the phone call. So everything I'm doing for a reason. If you don't have the phone call, you can't get into the film room. So everything I'm doing is very important. There we go. I need to delete the gold right here because I used to do it when I leave this room. Hey, Barkus, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day today. It's good to see you again. I haven't watched the video. She played the game, and she was cursed. So now we go here, and we get the killer videotape, and then we leave. So having the film, we get to watch it and learn more about the ring. But before doing that, we have to answer Jack's call. The whole reason why you need to answer the phone call, the key won't spawn unless you have it. The katana. You don't need to do the katana, it's always in backup. Come on. Alright, and then we go back to Jack. And then the phone call is going to be nice because it's going to allow me to get the key and go into the film room. Now, I've theorized before if I can just get the bullets earlier in the game, like right during this chapter. You can't because you can only go into the film room. And there's no other good way to get into the film room. Like, you can't really take other stairs beforehand, so you need to, while you're doing that. There we go. Oh, I need a split. I keep forgetting to split here, and that's fine. Meg Rainman. I'll just actually delete that split again. I keep forgetting once I answer the phone, I'm good to go. So we have Lucino once again, and we're going to ignore him entirely. Wait, you? And then we don't wait, because why would he wait for Lucino? He's slow. He tried chasing it out of the men's locker room. What kind of man chases us out of the men's locker room, huh? So you have a couple strategies you can do. I want to say the faster one is actually just taking the stairwell because it's less loads. And the less you have to load and the more you can play, the better it is. Because the loads do take a little bit of time. This has a total of like 2, while the other way has like 4. The man? Well, don't worry, Yuki. I plan on doing more Sweet Home at some point. I'm just not entirely sure when. Anyway, going down this hall, I'm able to go back to the Office 1. And Office 1 is going to have Chris in it. We entirely ignore Chris because we just need the film key from her. You don't have to talk to her at any point to get it. I remember I read some of the guides online, like, hey, here's how you do it. You don't need to talk to Chris. There's 0 reason. The game doesn't actually care if you do or you don't. She just exists in the room. If she's here, it's a good sign. So then you get the film key, and then you can leave. And then you're good to go. So the way I want to go, though, is back the way I came. There are stairs behind me, but there's way too many loading screens, and this will lead me only a couple of away from the film room. Knowing the stairs and which way they're going is very good, because if you mess up any of your turns, the run will absolutely lose you some time, which is rather unfortunate when you think about it, but it is the case, sadly. Alright, so now instead of having all the doors, you just have the one. If I went the other way, I'd have to go through many loading screens to take the same cover-up distance. So this is definitely the best way to go. And now we get to go to the film room. I'm likely going to be saving a lot of time here, I think, but we'll see. I played this very well. And we do have the killer videotape coming up. We're not going to watch it because it wastes time, but next run what I'll do is all, like, the major CGI cutscenes. I've had a feeling I golded. Match start. So I don't want to watch the killer videotape. Then Shizuku was just behind us. That ghost girl gets really funny later on. Absolutely hilarious, in fact. Then we end up back here. I don't need anything else. The shotgun won't even actually matter, funny enough. We're going to almost entirely ignore the use of the shotgun. It no longer matters for the concept of the game, because now we get a grenade launcher. Also, I bet it is one of the weirdest sentences to ever hear that in the game of The Ring, you have to use a grenade launcher as an actual mandatory story element. But now we use the grenade launcher, and it's required, in fact. And the weirdest order is how you do it, because you have to get the ammo, and then you get the gun. You have to do it in that order. If you don't, you lose the entire game. And that is the most stupid thing I've ever seen in any game. Hey, I need the ammo, and then the gun will spawn. How's it, Zaro? Good to see you. So I go into the door back here, solely so I can get another mission just telling me, hey, leave the room. I've never even seen the assault rifle. I didn't even find it in my casual play. I know it exists, it's not useful at all. The grenade you need to do anyway. Like, they won't let you into that room unless you have the grenade launcher. So, and the grenade launcher will kill him in all the ammo you get. So like I mentioned, I need to get the ammo and then the actual launcher. The ammo is in the kitchen, while the launcher is actually in the first room of the game we went to. Now, you remember that tutorial level where we had to go upstairs and kill the ape? That's where it is. There's no indication to be up there, by the way. I think it tells you. I think the guy tells you once it's on the second floor. But if you weren't paying attention to the floors and where everything is, you don't know where it is. And that is super unfortunate. And how you're supposed to find the ammo is really unintuitive too. I don't quite know why. And you have to find the ammo before the grenade launcher, or else the grenade launcher never spawns. Like, the ammo is more important for whatever reason. I always thought you wanted the gun before the ammo. Really? I never even checked. I've heard about it, but you don't need it by any means. And here's why you don't need any of the weapons. I didn't mention this funny mechanic before, but now it's probably a good time. The game doesn't allow any crossing over of weapons in any means. So if I collect any weapons in the ring world, they don't carry over to the office world, and vice versa. So all the ammo I'm gathering, there's no point. You don't need any ammo. You only need enough to beat the game in the ring world, because all the ammo management's in the office world. Like, you get one spare box of ammo in the ring world, and that is literally it. You do not need anything more. Everything else is given to you during the game to beat it. Now, obviously, if you're a bad shot, you can gather more ammo if you really need it. And the recommended ammo is the shotgun ammo in the power room, because then it is really easy to get. But even then, you have a lot of areas. Like, the pistol ammo is the only mandatory one, because you physically need it to beat one of the encounters. And that's going to be with the ape who does the initial forced hit in the microscope room. Anyway, now that I'm up here, what I'm going to do is get the grenade launcher. And the grenade launcher is going to be useful because it's going to just really pack a big punch for the rest of the game. Walk up to it. Got the grenade launcher, barely lost any time. And what I'm going to do right now is go here, go downstairs, and right when we go downstairs, I'm going to mash the start button to equip the grenade launcher. There you go. So I want the grenade launcher equipped because we have to do boss ape. Boss ape. So I've dubbed a lot of the bosses in this game with different names. Really just different variations of ape and then Sadako. So the first ape was breeding room ape. Now we have boss ape. Why is he called boss ape? He is no different than any other ape in the game. Like, see this ape right here who's red? He's the exact same ape. The only difference is the ape I'm about to fight is stronger. So I call him Boss Ape. He is the exact same ape. He is an ape, but stronger. And that is Boss Ape. That is all he does. He is that red ape, but stronger. That is all he does. And it's really weird mentioning that. Yeah, it was the save card. It was corrupted. It was this one. Since it kept crashing and corrupted my game, and it kept crashing in the same spot. But now we're gonna fight Boss Ape, who again is the funniest boss I've ever fought in any video game. He tells you, you gotta fight Boss Ape. Yep, now I own 2 discs of the ring, which is the most stupid thing I've ever heard. The Dreamcast actually did need to be repaired. Like, I don't regret that. It actually did need to be a new one, because even music wasn't working. But now I have 2 copies of the game. Anyway, here's Boss Ape. Like I mentioned, he's a red ape, but stronger. That is literally it. He eats 3 or 4 of these, depending on how good I am. I want to wait till he's about to attack me and then I do more damage. Can you have one? Maybe. He's dead. A 3-hit boss ape is really good. If you're wondering, most apes will die in 1 grenade launcher hit. Boss ape, on the other hand, is so tough, he does not. He's Boss Ape, which if you're wondering for any answer, he's Boss Ape. That is literally the only answer you ever need. He is Boss Ape. But yeah, the 3-shot's really good. The 3-shot is ideally what you want to get. But letting him get closer, the damage works based on proximity. So that's how I want to do my fights. It's very efficient. It's going to be much better. As long as you're not spamming shots, you can always get the kill on like a 4-shot, even then. You just need to make sure you're not spamming. If you spam, you have to get, like, it gets a really hard fight. I know I meme about Boss Ape being stronger. Boss Ape is incredibly strong, and it makes 0 sense why Boss Ape is so strong. He's literally just an ape, but stronger. But he's one of the toughest enemies in the entire game. Arguably, he's the 3rd toughest? Boss Ape is best ape, Saru. He is. So now I go upstairs. And I'm going to activate event to go back to the office world. we go. I'm gonna try light for a little bit, just because we don't really need it in this cutscene. Good. Good fight. Good fight all around. And now we wake up, passed out, in the basement. The most dramatic music in the world. My favorite part about this is there's literally going to be a part where she says yes, and it plays the dramatic music. Meg? Dun 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 dun. Yes. Watch. You'll see what I mean. After mashing all of this for a while, we're going to hit one point where it says just yes, and then it plays the music. Virus. They give me the briefing that there's a virus leak in the building and everyone's being tested, and they don't know who's going to die in 7 days. It's you. Heads up. So watch, you're going to keep the music going, it'll freeze for another moment, we're going to see a yes, and then it'll play again. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, watch. Oh, it's the next one. Just the big stare. There's a lot of these. You just keep mashing the button, and when it ends, it does that. Enough about the virus. There's no method of infection. You call yourself a research scientist. Again, we took our boyfriend's job after he died. You know, the standard procedure. That's how you always get jobs. Your significant other dies, you get the job. Meg, stay in your room. Yes. Dun 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 dun. That's my favorite part. Just stay in your room. Yes. Dun 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 dun. When we stay in our room, we have to deal with Boss Ape. Anyway, instead of Boss Ape, we get Lucino. Lucino goes from being a bad guy to a good guy. He's been trying to help you out all along. He wanted you to stay out of the men's locker rooms. He didn't want you to watch the old man be naked. Realistically, Lucino is the friend of your boyfriend, and he wants you to succeed. So he's been trying to help you all along. There's some sketchy stuff going on in the building. So he's going to cut the power later on and give you a gun. I don't know why. It just sort of happens. You think Lucino could have done a lot by himself. He also just drops that he was dating Kathy. I thought Kathy was like a dude for the longest time, but then you find out Kathy's actually a chick. And a human at that. I thought she was some weird kind of like eldritch beast, but apparently Kathy's human. Anyway, now we're going back to the ring world for the final time. This will be the last ring entry of the entire game. And then we'll be good to go. You have to wait while Lucino drops the power in the building. So you gotta play the ring one more time. And this entire section is going to be kind of a weird little escort quest. Hey, Razzle Dazzle, how's it going, man? Good to see you, as always. Hope you're doing well. Oh, my neck. So now we're back in the ring world. Back in the pod. Remember, we never actually went back to the pod. We just bent down, and then we're back in the pod. By the way, I try not to push buttons here. Thanks for the follow, I appreciate that. I try not to push buttons here because pushing buttons has actually soft-locked me before. Once you're out of that little cage, you can push buttons again. Also, right now, the light will dim, but we don't really need it for the rest of our good. I'm doing good. I'm doing very good right now. I got a new world record in this game, and this is looking like it's going to be another one, but a lot better. And my time save is going to be pretty decent coming up. So like I mentioned, weapons aren't going to matter because there's no other boss fights left in the ring world. All the rest of the boss fights are going to be in the real world, or the office world, I should say. Because the story gets extremely convoluted. Now, you can kill enemies, but it's mostly a waste of time. There's going to be one enemy manipulation you actually need to do, and it's kind of awkward. So, by the way, I'm gaining time right here, first off, because I went the wrong way initially. You want to go upstairs first, because then you get the trigger you need to follow the little girl. I'm actually going to be careful on a few of the boss fights coming up, because it's going to get a bit rough. Anyway, we go up, and then we're going to be following the girl, and it's just literally going to be a, like, follow her, and that's all you do. It's rather straightforward. The one hard enemy is actually not going to be an ape, it is a lizard. One of 3 animals in the game. There's a little girl. Believe it or not, this woman's like 80. She's just a little girl as a ghost for some reason. But this is Sadako's mom. Sadako. Yeah, there we go. This is Sadako's mom, Shizuku. And Shizuku just phases through walls. She's kind of like Danny Phantom without the catchy theme song. It really is rather unfortunate when you think about it that way. I mean, they're practically twins. Anyway, as always, we meet someone in this room. They're going to tell us, hey, go away, which we're going to be doing that. Really? Kyo, yeah, that's a sad life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear about that. And the whole idea that we're learning is you enter the ring world so you can get a vaccine. That is the entire thing, and the big twist of the game is, this is the real world. The office world is actually the ring world. It was the big 180 that this all along was the real world. You know, the thing with all the apes? You know, I remember the real world. Just apes running around everywhere, killer apes. I don't know about you, like, my entire, like, my life, my office job, it's just, you know, murderous apes lurching around, just killing people. I suppose. That's the way it goes, right? The world just has monstrous ape demons running around. I know my job does. I don't know about your job. My job has just murderous apes running around everywhere. Confucius! Resub. Just like the movie exactly right. Thanks so much. 14 months. Jesus, Confucius. Thank you. Enjoy the emotes. I'm adding the cat emote as the fourth one, by the way, because I think a lot of people were big fans of the cat emote. So it should be good. Anyway, like I mentioned, she's just phasing through walls, and we're going to get back to her in a moment. Oh, it's a nice emote. I like the heart emote. Yeah, I already have the cat emote made. I'm just going to resize it. Anyway, this is the lizard I was talking about. This lizard is very awkward, and he can get you into some really rough spots if you're not careful. That's the cat emote if you have better fish to be. If you don't, it's this one. Anyway, here we go. We get dialogue. And then we get to meet Shizuku, and she'll give us the lowdown on what's happening. She's reincarnated, but she's also a ghost. Again, this is the real world, by the way. It doesn't make a lot of sense. At all. The story is extremely convoluted. You just sort of want to mash, and then she leaves the room. Through the wall. And also my battery died. I didn't turn off the light that time. The battery can just straight up die sometimes, and it is unfortunate, but you really don't need the light to beat the game. There's no light requirements in the game. All you really need is the ability to know where you're going, and I know where I'm going. I've speedrun this 3 times. Teddy with the raid. Oh, I'm trying again. Hold on. Thank you. Oh my god, that was terrible. Best game, exactly. Teddy, what are you doing today? Confucius, can I get a shout out for Teddy? We got world record and gained another one, by the way. I lost a bit of time there if I move in, but that lizard's hard to deal with. If you try going through the door, the lizard will actually body block you consistently, so it sucks. He being in the Texas, nice one, man. Put a lot of work into that game. I'm really happy to see that game make it into GDQ. Like, that game, I'm incredibly happy to see you got in. Oh yeah, Yawn, Liquors, it's all terrible, Kia. So right now, we're going to head back to the real world, and we're hitting the final boss stretch of the game. It is rather difficult. I'm going to be going with some new risky strats in this game. There are going to be new world record strats, because technically everything I do is a world record strat, because I'm the only person who plays this game. But it's still a very fun game nonetheless. Like I mentioned, I'm losing a bit of time because of the awkward movement of the lizard, but it's not going to be in a vert amount, so it's fine. Let's see if I give the shout out for you, by the way, Teddy. Let's see. Teddy Glass. Oh, you're doing Gungeon as well. Not bad, my man. Not bad. Yeah, this is the Ring Terror's Realm. Anyone who either may have joined or listening to me talk, or in general, maybe you're new here, maybe you just want the rehash. I'm McDices. I do a lot of horror games and horror game speedruns. I'm a big fan of the genre. I have 57 now. 57 different horror games. I do a lot of weird ones, a lot of normal ones, really whatever I kind of like. It's always fun to me. I think it's a genre of games that doesn't get a lot of love, so I love showing them off. The Ring has been a project of mine. I'm the only person who runs it, but I've been putting a lot of work into this. If you've never seen a run of the ring, you are in for a treat. We're hitting the final bosses of the game, the final area. You don't need to worry about spoilers because the game is honestly terrible. But it's still pretty funny. Anyway, now we get a gun. Hey, Corvage, thanks so much for that sub. I really appreciate it. Or the resub, I should say. I really appreciate it. Get the gun. Alright, so we get the gun. I'm going to equip the gun. How do you throw a garlic bread? It's pretty good, Razzle Dazzle. So I want to equip the gun, because the gun's going to save me a bit of time later on. We're going to have a few fights coming up, but first things first, we're going to go. You need to equip this before the isolation room ape, so we do that now, and then we get a little mission that's going to last us 3 minutes. By the way, if anyone has any questions about the run or anything in general, feel free to let me know. Ghost Tower this, which is worse. Both of them are amazing. I know what you're talking about. Clock Tower 3 is worse. Unironically, I'd rather play either of these before Clock Tower 3, because I played both of these more often than Clock Tower 3. Ghost Head's probably more boring than this, but Ghost Head's still pretty fun. Anyway, the whole goal is you need to go downstairs to find out what's in the special room. You need to shut off the power so you know what's happening. And you need the gun just in case. What's gonna happen? Ghost Head's amazing. Oh, wrong room. Oh, that's fine. Have a good night, Aiden. This is a minor time loss, not the end of the world. I went into the wrong room. I was supposed to go downstairs one more time. Luckily, as long as you beat the little timer here, you're gonna be fine. And you have a generous amount of time in this game. Was this game scarier than my first playthrough? Not at all. I was laughing hysterically, Toady. I absolutely love this game. It is so funny. Have a good night, Picado. Always good to see you as well. Like, everything in this game made me laugh, and I love it. Like, originally this was just gonna be a casual game for me, but I loved it so much, I routed the speedrun. And also, now we get the jamming music. Now we're in the room. And then we get to go to the isolation room. The isolation room is back here. I have a lot of time saved, by the way, in my entire end game. There's a lot of it, like, trust me. There's gonna be I could probably gold my entire end game. The final Chief Apes will be the hardest boss in the game, but we'll see how we do on that. We're gonna hit a little fight here. Don't mind me losing time. I did have to go through one more loading stream, so it's not the end of the world. Here he is, the isolation room ape, and he dies in 5 shots. And that's safe. You want to find it like that because it's much faster. And now we get Shizuku, who's going to enter the room, and since we are speedrunning this, she immediately leaves the room. Bye-bye. She just enters the room and leaves the room. Wait a minute. Good reaction, Meg. Very good reaction time. And she just entered the room and immediately left it. Comedy horror? Now, this game is the best horror game ever made. Like, absolutely hands down. But yeah, honestly, though, in terms of playing, this game is more fun than Ghost Head, but I still like Ghost Head. It's not a bad game to play. Like, I'd definitely do it again. So now you have to go get the Shizuku power key, and it's going to allow us to get power later on. I've never actually played Blue Stinger, so this. Alright, here. We get the Shizuku power key. Got the key. Good to go. How's it going, by the way, Buttercream Spaz? Hope you're doing well. I hear good things about Blue Stinger. I'm not against playing it. And then Shizuku just straight up leaves. She just kind of phases through the ground and she's gone. That's it. And that's her entire strategy. You know, hello, goodbye. She phased. There we go. So you guys remember earlier in the game, I talked about a certain softlock that can happen if you don't remember a code. I need to remember the power code. If you don't remember the power code, you can't do it. Now you have the key, the code is the exact same. So if you didn't remember this, it's unfortunate. You lost the entire run, you have to do it all over again. Normally when people play this game casually, they lose on Breeding Room Ape and then this part of the game. Oh, that would be insane, Reneth. I would hate myself. That would actually be insane. Plywood with the host. Thank you, Plywood. What are you doing today? You're doing... I did not play Devotion Force removed from Steam, but I did buy it, so I do own it. Metal Gear Solid. Thank you so much for the host, Plywood. By the way, guys, check him out. Awesome guy. Metal Gear speedruns. Silent Hill speedruns. Very cool dude. Good friend as well. Anyway, the code's the exact same. It's 1951. And I'll wait for the advertisement stand for Pokemon. 1951. Nice. Plywood, how's the stream, man? Welcome everyone from his stream. Hope you're having a great day. Alright, so we got the power in the lab back. And then we are going to be hitting this section I saved time on. I'm skipping that. We're going straight to Chief Ape. So I no longer need to save Kathy because that's no longer going to be in the speedrun routing. Earlier what I was doing is I had Kathy, however, I no longer need the backup katana, so I can just go straight upstairs. Stream is good, it's at the end of the run. Yeah, we're going to be able to beat it now, as long as the fight goes well with Boss Ape, or Chief Ape I should say. Chief Ape is the hardest boss in the entire game, and it will take some doing, but I have a good feeling about it. He is rather tough. Ooh, that was bad. Anyway, welcome from Plywood Stream. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm Dices, I do a lot of horror games and horror speedruns. Make yourself at home, and I hope you're having a great day so far. Thank you so much for the host, by the way, Plywood. The guy shut up Plywood, very cool dude. Along with, he's also in the GDQ backup squad. So now we've at least apes into the building, and then we get to go to the boss's room on a secret elevator. It's been theorized that there's a couple skips that could happen. If you had a gun early enough, in theory, you could beat the final boss early, but it would still be insanely difficult. Like, the entire game would be rather difficult if you, like, had to even able to skip it, because this elevator's always here. It's like never, it most likely is never not here. And the final boss room's on the 3rd floor, so if you're able to do either of these things, you can likely go straight to the bosses. I don't imagine they hit the triggers that well, but it's only theorized so far, so let's see. Anyway, I get a mini elevator fight. This elevator fight's pretty easy. It's 5 shots, but you have to be careful to make sure you hit it. It can be 4. So we'll see how we do. It's just another ape. It's nothing massive. He's dead. Also... Oh, that'd be funny. How is he gonna get a gun in the real world? No other way. You have to wait for Lucina. The only weapon that you can possibly have would be a grenade launcher during Sadako, but you have to wait. Also, the song lasts you about a total of maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and that is literally it. They randomly changed it to this, and I don't know why. Because now we get the Chief Ape, and this is the second to final boss, and the hardest boss in the entire game, in my opinion. I have a lot more trouble with this than Sadako, because there's a lot more room with Sadako, and it's easier to hit her. It is not easy to hit Chief Ape, but I have the fight down pretty nicely. Let's see if I get it. So my strategy is I run around the table, I go about right here, and then I keep shooting. You want him wheezing like that, then you do damage. The wheezing is ideally what you want. You want to hit him in this sort of pattern. There you go. That's good. Alright, we have a perfect fight. Oh, that's bad. Come on. Have to be careful. Have to be very careful. Let's go to that side of the table. Again. We're waiting. Got him. Good fight. Good fight, baby. So that fight's extremely tough because if he hits you, he can chain you. And if you don't have ammo, you also lose. There's a lot of ways of losing that fight. But you get the weird wheezing, you have it. If you don't have the wheezing, you lose the fight. Anyway, this is likely an NPB as long as we beat Sadako. My Sadako fight was really bad. We'll see how this goes. Chief Ape. Oh, I spelled it wrong. You're correct. I spelled it incorrectly. I made these splits a while back, so I can't get Chief Ape. Chief Ape. There you go. Anyway, she goes up. And then she just leaves the room. Juo with the host. Thanks so much. It's definitely done because it's a lot easier to fight, like, the last hard boss of the game. You can still lose, don't get me wrong. But Chief Ape's a lot harder than Sadako ever is. There we go. Away. And we're almost done with the game. Joe, how's the stream? You're doing Tetris 99. Hoping well. You get any Tetrises, man? I don't know much about Tetris. I'm only assuming you get Tetrises in that game. So the final boss is actually on the 3rd floor. 2 in a row. Nice, dude. I'm proud of you. Good to hear. And welcome everyone who may have came in from the various hosts. If you have any questions, do let me know, but I want to welcome you to the stream. If you want to lurk, keep lurking. If not, definitely welcome. So another little ape. This is the hardest ape to dodge in the game. Joe, I got world record, buddy. I already got world record once today. I'm gonna get it again. And remember that song I told you guys to remember in the beginning of the game? It's the final boss music for whatever reason. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm still taking it safe here with the health and ammo. I still want all of it because I think it's gonna be faster just to get it here. There is technically a grenade launcher you can get, but I still think pistol is just faster. Like, really enough, I'm pretty sure pistol ammo is going to be faster by all means, just because it's less running. Anyway, grab all the ammo I can. We don't really need much else. And if you're wondering why we want the pistol ammo, it's going to be better for the second phase of the fight. There's 2 phases and they alternate in between. Phase 1 is good with the grenade launcher, which you could use, but the pistol is going to do the job well enough for me. And it'll be faster because I don't have to run across the room. I kind of stay in one phase and do everything. It's going to be much faster this way. Anyway, the final boss is Sadako. And it's exactly how you'd expect a Sadako fight to go in a licensed running game, right? Right? You know, she has her birds, not her apes, but her birds now. See, she's improved. Listen to that song. Honestly, this song is the absolute banger, dude. This is a great song. Catboy! Dude, everyone's shooting up the raids and the host right now. Diamond Mondo can give Cat and Catboy a shout out. Watch this video right now. Captain Catboy. I got it. There we go. What are you doing? Final Fantasy 14 Online. Great time, and we're on the final boss, dude. The final boss of the Ring Terrace Realm. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Right now on world record pace, it's gonna go good. So, Sadako straight up just fights you. And she'll whip you with her hair. And punch you. So you want to make sure you keep shooting her. You don't want to get karate chopped because that's bad. There we go. We get birds. Bird phase is good. And then I have to aim at the birds. So bird phase is pretty easy once you get the hang of it, but it does take a bit of doing. If you're not careful, it's hard. But if you are careful, it's easy peasy. The gun will mostly auto-aim, but you need to make sure you're aiming at the birds. And then a little one-shot if you get that. Exactly, Sora. Alright, one more. And then, there we go. Back up a little bit. And then fire. Alright, there we go. It's about 4 to 5 shots per phase. And then 1. This is actually a good camera angle, because then I can change it up a little bit. That's fine. You can actually kill it with a grenade launcher, but I think it takes more time to do that, because you still have to kill all the birds. And the birds are much easier to kill with this, so it's nice. Anyway, there she is. She punches me, that's fine. I'm low on health, not the end of the world. Alright, there we go. This should be the last phase, and then one more after it. On. Coming from this way. Birds take 2 shots if you're too far away, so you want them to get nice and close, and that's the ideal bird strategy. Meg will also auto-aim onto the birds, so make good use of the auto-aim. It's really nice to get the use of the auto-aim. Alright, almost done with the boss. I'm gonna safety this. I'm not gonna take a risk. I'm not taking a risk, because it's going to be a world record. If I hit the shot, it would have been better. Yeah, there it is. Called it. Boom! We did it. Sarah Fendi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. There is, and this is the ending. It's terrible. 2 world records in 1 day. This is world record. I PB'd by earlier by like 9 minutes. Haru, are you... Yeah, watch, man.
Human beings deserve to survive after this?
Yeah, this is world record.
To me.
It is. It exactly is, Seraphan.
hurts them.
It doesn't, Plywood.
Save
Yeah,
them.
I
Save
PB'd
them.
earlier,
They
dude.
don't
Gotta
care
pay
about
attention.
anything other than themselves.
Thank you, Baracus.
Don't you see?
And thank you, Random
I
Words.
Sounds like the truth.
It could have been better, but you know
But
what?
the
Not
next will
too
come.
bad.
One after another.
Nah, I played it wrong. Good fight. Very good fights. Hey, thank you for the bed study. I appreciate that.
WRWRWRWRWRWRWRWIR. Kill each other until everybody's
Same.
gone.
Yeah, this is the ending if you guys have never
The
seen it.
vaccine
It's
announced
terrible.
to cure the disease has been put into full mass production. However, some citizens desperate for the vaccine are not
You were here,
waiting for their
Joe.
ration and have started rioting. A large number of fatalities and injured due to such riots have been reported all over the country.
Killing. Until everybody's gone.
And that's the ending cutscene. You lose.